What's a sign that a movie is going to be bad? If there are multiple trailers for a comedy movie, but they use the same joke in all of them. Critics did not receive an advance screening in order to write a review. It means the studio is hoping to at least recover an opening weekend of ticket sales before word gets out. You see it more and more in the video game industry as well, where they either don't give them review copies early, only give them for a specific platform, or won't let them publish anything until a certain date. When the commercials all have 1 or 2 word reviews, and the reviews are from people you've never heard of. Feast for the Senses, William Albertson of the Topeka Star-Tribune Weekend Film Magazine, online edition. Deleted. When you've basically seen the entire plot of the movie and all main scenes in the trailer. All main scenes in the trailer. There was a movie years ago that became infamous because the funniest scene in the trailer wasn't in the movie. Get ready to see back in action in the big screen. This line is used in many bad movie trailers of old properties which are made into movies. Who Left the Fridge Open? Tug Speedman. Scorcher v. Global Meltdown. If the character points out something that is blatantly obvious. Directing credit goes to Alan Smithy. Hey. If it's from the studio that brought you. Insert decent movie here. The near constant advertising. Usually the exact same spot played before every video on YouTube. Often. They'll feature an actor way more famous than the cast. With a minor cameo. Front and center on the poster. Deleted. It's been in production for too long. There's always a reason. For a recent example, Chaos Walking. It's changed screenwriter, director and production company so many times over 10 years but was sold on it being a Charlie Kaufman movie starring Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. Kaufman left in 2013. Ridley and Holland filmed it over years due to so many reshoots and failed screenings. Then Lionsgate said the negative reviews were shocking to them. Really? I forgive all movies from 2021 to 2023 for this. If it's being released in January. That isn't the case every time. Just most of the time. When the main actor's name is bigger than the title on the poster. Bonus points if the actor's last name isn't the real famous named actor. Example. Quentin Tarantino recently was on WTF talking about how his estranged father and Al Pacino's estranged father got together and made a few direct-to-video B-movies. So they get to put Tarantino Pacino at the top of the poster for marketing. Then you see 2 random old dudes. If my mom called to recommend it to me. I swear to God my grandma once came to tell me about this incredibly funny movie she saw on TV called Jack and Jill. When they try adding an IRL trend in the movie. It's just cringe. Even worse is when they try forcing memes into it. It's either cringe. Or so outdated that it just looks stupid. Has too many of what unknown critics say on the movie poster or trailer. It's the thrill-packed roller coaster of the season. When the trailer shows you way too much. This so much. Instead of a trailer showing you a preview. It just sums up the whole movie in 30 seconds. It's like thanks I've seen it now. The preview shows a girl who's just too focused on career to find love going back to her small hometown for whatever reason. And she has a boyfriend but is having a hard time connecting with him. Her mom calls her and persuades her to visit and come home. Hijinks ensue when she meets her male friend from her childhood who works at her parents' country-style business. Also her diverse gang of friends from the big city come down to rescue her from various awkward situations. An exposition in which one character explains everything that's going on to another character that should already know what is going on. Look, I know we had a 40-minute drive to get here and I didn't say shit. But I'm going to let you in on the plan 20 seconds before we go shooting up this place. When one villain wasn't enough to make a movie. So they shoehorn in multiple half-ass villains instead. Unless we get 6 prior movies focusing on each villain. We're never getting a good Sinister Six movie and that's very saddening. Showing what is obviously the best part climax in the trailer. If it isn't strong enough to catch my interest with the lead up. It's likely gonna suck. They said the word family 20 times in 15 minutes and it's not a movie about a mob family. It's okay. You can say Fast and Furious. Putting a director who has no idea what the source material is about. Looking at you Dragon Ball Evolution. I hate that the worst part about this is the creator Akira Toriyama tried to give the guy an honest opinion and notes on improving it from the source material, but the guy shrugged him off every time. It's directed by Uwe Boll. It's an edgy reboot of a children's property that stopped being relevant a decade ago. The simple act of me wanting to watch it pretty much makes it a bad movie. I'm like a moth to flame with bad flicks. James Corden. Shaky cam and quick cut editing. Jumping over a fence. 20 quick cuts. Take it or leave it. When they hype the movie's soundtrack more than the film itself. Suicide Squad. Let's face it. Once DC saw how well Guardians of the Galaxy did, they pivoted hard and said let's make ours like that one, and instantly the songs came flooding in, among other things. I still wish I could find the original grimdark gritty trailer they released before the Bohemian Rhapsody one. When I can tell how it's going to end by just watching the trailer. Starts with a ridiculous amount of exposition. Or the opposite. Somehow Palpatine returned. And X200B. Edit, I wasn't actually trying to bash the sequels. Just 9. When the movie was supposed to be a drama and they changed it during filming to a comedy. Does this happen a lot? This is not me challenging you, lol, I genuinely like to watch a train wreck that does this. Whenever they start promoting their movie by constantly comparing it to one of the all-time greats in the genre. If you are a fantasy movie and you have to state in the advertising that you are great just like Lord of the Rings. It makes me think your movie is probably shit. Because you are not Lotta. If it opens with a narration starting with, I know what you're thinking. It just screams desperation from a crowded writer's room. Edit, in a drama. Ragnarok and Megamind have a tongue-in-cheek tone. But some movies do it without irony like Raya did recently. The Emperor's New Groove is flawless and you won't convince me otherwise. Kuzco is the greatest Disney princess. When it is 10 minutes in and you have said what the fuck. Under your breath 5 or more times. When the opening credits tell you a really interesting story. When the opening scene involves a shootout with so many cuts you literally cannot see what is happening. Or who is shooting at whom. When the narrator sounds bored. If the whole synopsis is a terrible idea. Like making a movie about images. The Lego Movie is the exception. Written by the director of. Its cast is overstuffed with stars, Egg, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, He's Just Not That Into You, Little Focus, etc. Which is typically done to distract the audience from all of the suckiness. Shocked that you didn't mention Cats. Reviews state that it's scariest funniest movie of the year. It rarely is. Rampant fat jokes. Too many commercials on TV. Coupled with starting the promotion 4 weeks before the premiere equals bad movie. How much a trailer reveals can often be telling. The CGI character is in riding a car with the useless cardboard human protagonist. Useless cardboard human protagonist. Hey. That's no way to talk about James Marsden. Every other commercial on TV is a trailer for it. When they show 80% of the action. In the trailer. When it's a Disney remake. Solid. If Disney would put any freaking consequences in their movies they could be alright. But it's always a syrupy happy end and it just doesn't work for me anymore. This didn't used to be an issue. Hercules lost the god who he worked so hard for. Mufasa stays dead. Hell. Even freaking Ariel who got everything she wanted was permanently separated from her family. Modern Disney would have included a scene of them all hanging out at a pool party or something. Just to make it clear everyone but the villain had a happy ending. Can't have any consequences or repercussions here. Kids are supposed to enjoy. Not feel. It's labeled a horror porn movie. It goes directly to the $1.00 movie house. There are no pre-screenings for critics. For a comedy. If there's a dick-sucking joke in the first couple minutes it means whoever directed it or wrote it thinks dick-sucking is the funniest thing ever and the movie's gonna be filled with dick-sucking jokes. Edited to be suitable for Chinese audiences. High RT critic score. Low audience score. Multiple IT influencers all put out reviews, third-party advertising, about how great it is all on the same day. When the advertising is, famous movie, meets, famous movie. Source content is its own thing. but the movie decides to bring it into the real world. It's lazy and totally misses the point of why people like it. Egg, He-Man, Beastmaster 2, Smurfs, Garfield, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Garbage Pail Kids, etc. The top reviews you see on posters and commercials are from people and media you've never heard of. For us outside the us, the bigger is the star that comes to promote it, the worse the movie is. When critics call it delightful. Remember when they first revealed Sonic? That. Still can't believe that the internet bullied a whole production company into making a better Sonic design. When the trailer just has a bunch of random shots of things going on, and has the characters saying really vague cliché lines like everything you've ever known is about to change or this is only the beginning or it all comes down to this, and the trailer concludes with you not knowing a single damn thing about the premise. When they bring back a character back from the dead using bullshit explanations. Twice. Cough Fast and Furious. A poor cringe title and or subtitle.